Hello there everyone and welcome back. It is finally time to play some more Armada 2, finally. And sadly it has been a bit of a lapse, and even then, I think I've only been relegated down to doing one video a month? Or not a month but a week there? Over the past few episodes that I have been doing. And with no possible news of what the future might hold for our Battlefleet Gothic in general, there is not a lot of motivation to try and keep these videos going outside of just enjoying the game. And of course, with the dwindling player base outside of sales, that even makes that a little bit difficult sometimes. Because I want to try and give different type of variety of matchups if possible, and not the same opponent repeatedly, especially if it's going to be a very one-sided fight for me to win. That is not going to be interesting to watch, but we are going to make another attempt regardless, and I think I'm going to jump back into one of my favorite type of fleets, or at least the ones I enjoy the most, in the Adeptus Mechanicus. We're going to be bringing the Novacans, we're going to be bringing the Radstorm, and of course a good old ramming spur with the Arc Mechanicus, for when things get up close and personal. It may not be the most optimal type of fleet, because after all, it's very simple, very easy to just go with 5 cruisers for more Novacan goodness. The one thing I like most though, with a lot of my fleets, is just the versatility, being able to account for just all the different type of matchups that I can go up against. Cause sure, 5 Novacans and a bunch of cruisers might be great a lot of the time, but when I'm dealing with Eldari that can dodge the Novacans really well, never mind that their hull fields are really good against the Lances too, that might not be so practical there, and let's not even talk about like Tyranids or anything with that are really heavy on boarding too. That's going to be problematic. So that's the philosophy I like to go with, even if the 5 cruiser fleet might be a little more practical, just because of how immobile the battleship will be. But it has its perks, and it makes it that much more enjoyable when things go well. So I'm going to stick with it, and we will see how it goes. Alright, so Imperial Navy for this time around. And sadly I had a match against the Tau Protector fleet, although my recording died on me partway through, so we're sadly not going to get to see much of that match, but we will see how this performs. I don't expect this to be a very simple match, because in the case of Imperial Navy, I am pretty much outgunned and outnumbered, so I need to rely almost exclusively on my range advantage if I want to hope for some kind of victory here. Since they're either going to have the 6 cruisers with a possibility of a 7 cruiser fleet, on top of torpedoes and of course the extra close range firepower to kind of just do a lot more damage in close, especially if they're bringing the armor piercing ammo. Although in this case I will split up my fleet a tiny bit to help prepare for maybe potential Eye of the Omnissiah, to at least protect my ships when they get rushed down. Although, with me playing as much Iron Harvest as I have lately, I do worry my control I might have issues controlling my fleet there, thinking I'm using the Iron Harvest hotkeys pattern. We'll see what happens. Ideally though, I want to keep them at arm's length, so I'm probably going to be forfeiting the central objectives if they go super aggressively. Do I want the Kulex's Assassin or not though? Armor piercing ammo. I am kind of preparing to kind of evade them with Eye of the Omnissiah if I can use that properly. I could get extended auger array to help with that too, if only slightly. I kind of want the Kulex's Assassin though, but allowing the frigates to be integral in this type of battle is going to be a big deal though, since I'm going to be relying on constant vision. And I think I am going to prioritize a lot of the engines here. So what do we have? 4 battle cruisers maybe? We'll see. And these Novas are the fastest Imperial frigates in the game, and they have pretty good health and armor. So they should serve me pretty well here.
Receiving your order.
They can dodge a lot of their macro cannon weaponry. They can take the hits decently.
Active.
I just gotta be ready for... Well, I may be too clumped up still, despite all this, so... I have the Omnissiah may not be very helpful in this exchange.
You have seized a strategic area.
Especially since because my frigates are in grouped with my battleship and all that, they're not spotting the best.
To serve the Omnissiah. Calculating vectors.
So I'm hoping to reveal, scanner pulse, and then just damage this thing down. Because I am revealed.
Hostile signature detected.
I just lost my fighters, did they? Alright, Dictator and a bunch of Lance. Yep, I lost the fighters, so that's a big deal. And they have long-range Grand Cruisers.
Transition begun.
And I don't think I could do any more damage to that. As tempted as I am.
We are ready to serve. Optimal course set.
I do wonder if I can just have this thing just poke behind them there. As silly as that may sound.
Rouse the engines. To serve the Omnissiah.
And now I want to watch the range. To know when to expect to do damage to these guys. Because I could very easily get sandwiched in the corner if I'm not careful.
State your order.
Alright. Just dodge the macro cannons.
Machine spirit appeased.
You do your damage. We'll see about providing long-range fire here.
Receiving your order.
If anything, this will separate his fleet a bit, I'm hoping.
Spirit appeased. Reroute power to retro propulsion. Rouse the engines.
Now, gotta get ready to turn around.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
I am gonna get pinched in the corners, what ultimately is gonna probably happen here. So this is not as flawless as it could be. Especially since they're not shooting at the one ship I want either.
Engage engine red lines.
It is still good damage though, but...
State your order.
Yeah, and the Lances are doing a lot of damage here. But I can dodge the macro cannons decently.
State your order. Weapons calibrated. To serve the Omnissiah.
Alright. That's probably not going to do a whole lot, let's be honest. But if we can force him out, that will do some good damage here if I can continue to wear him down. Generator's down, so that's unfortunate. Try and sprout the damage.
Optimal course set.
And ideally, don't get these things focused down.
To serve the Omnissiah. The spirits obey.
Now, can we get an opportunity on you? Especially with the permanent engine destruction. So I think I know what I have in mind here. Although I should have done that sooner, but it's good damage with the Rad Storm. Alright, this Grand Cruiser is no more. Do I even fire 2 Nova cannons? I think I take spare no expenses. Especially since it's about to disengage anyway.
Calculating vectors.
Alright. Promising so far.
State your order. Engaging drive.
Now you turn. We're gonna try and slow these guys down.
State your order.
As we prepare our bombardment. Okay. Can I just ram this thing? Actually,
Hostile signature detected.
I don't think I'm gonna get the damage I want, but
Spirit appeased. Engaging drive.
I think we're in good shape to kill the flagship, maybe.
Matchless efficiency. Reroute power to retro.
And you're about to repair all fire assaults.
To serve the Omnissiah.
This might hurt a bit. Avert your eyes, children. Especially with Disruption Overcharge kind of negating your shield charge.
Rouse the engines to fury. The spirits obey.
Finish the flagship off, please.
State your order.
I did lose the frigate, but...
Rouse the engines.
Well, I was gonna say that's why we have two of them.
Power to
It
retro.
still survived, though.
Machine spirit appeased.
And you had...
Armament.
You do have armor-piercing ammo,
Matchless efficiency.
so we need to be mindful of that.
Starhawks engaging.
So I still could very well lose this match because I have no Eye of the Omnissiah to help with this.
Battle protocols engaged.
At least the angle is terrible for me to take advantage of Eye of the Omnissiah at least.
Receiving your order. Reroute power to retro propulsion.
The enemy has accumulated 25% of strategic
Keep the battleship alive. Let these take the hits, and I will have the I will have the Maelstrom or the Radstorm available for this in a moment.
We are ready to
Now let's just turn in preparation for that.
transition begun. Engage engine red line.
The second Nova Cannon probably won't be the most promising, but Fire Assault is good.
Calculating vectors. Reroute power to retro propulsion.
Alright, I think we are almost in the clear. Almost.
Set.
Because this is potentially 2 Grand Cruisers out of this battle right now. I should have done that stasis bomb faster, though.
Engage engine red lines.
What they're going to try and do is force maybe to kill the battleship now.
Rouse the engines.
But the fire assaults might help there.
We are ready to serve.
You just go recharge, hide. Everyone else, deal for our friend up top.
Optimal course set.
Especially since the mutiny helped in this regard.
We are ready to serve.
And good thing I did not just ram myself there.
To serve the Omnissiah.
But I think we're golden. Fire assaults should just kill that Grand Cruiser right now. Alright, let's give everyone what they want most. Ramming speed! I have AC armor, screw you!
You have accumulated 50% of strategic points.
Now, where the hell is... Oh, I was gonna say, where the hell was your ship? That answers that. I won't lie, with several weeks not playing this game, and like I said, Mechanicus, I don't know how popular or how potent Mechanicus truly is if I were serious, but it's like I said, with me being outnumbered, even having less crew, so their boarding is that much more potent against me versus them, I felt like a big underdog there. But we somehow made it work. Somehow. Alright, this is going to be an interesting match. I don't recognize this opponent though, so we will train or initiate, which I'm going with the assumption with for the purposes of this match, on how to properly Mechanicus. That's assuming I know how to properly Mechanicus, but let's go with it, okay? Just hear me out. Just see this through. I won against blue, so that's gotta give me some merit, right? Although, if they know about Disruption Overcharge, I am really reluctant to spread out a bit, because that makes it hard for me to like cycle my ships around to kind of, so that way they can absorb the shield damage for each other, because Disruption Overcharge is going to keep me from recharging after all. And That is a big deal for this type of matchup, I feel. Although, yeah, they have poor morale. Culexus Assassin can be really strong here. I just need to make sure that I get the critical hits I need to destroy their decks, or at least damage it. At least then they are forced to kind of burn a rally if they want that ship to get back in line. Or it's just out of the fight if it can work out to my advantage. And we have 3 points here, so I'm assuming they're also going to deploy over here, so let's be serious. I don't think I'm going to get these 3 points for free. So realistically, these 2 points are just not going to be taken by me, is what it's looking like. Actually, I could send a frigate over to kind of at least start grabbing them, in case this does drag out. Well, I kind of saw that they were going to deploy over here, which is why part of me was once thinking maybe I should go over here, because at least then I have these 2 gas clouds for a little bit of cover and protection for a drawn out type of fight. And also, it looks like we're dealing with the 5 cruiser fleet. I'm going to guess.
Receiving your order.
And I still want to prioritize the engines, I'm not going to lie, because that's going to be useful for setting up the Nova cannons.
Optimal course set.
But damaging the deck's also going to be important too for the Culexes. So, the first ship I'm going to be shooting at, which is probably going to be this one, we'll prioritize the engine on it. And if I'm so lucky, maybe we'll get some deck critical hits as the fight progresses on the other ones.
To serve the Omnissiah.
And I can dodge Nova cannons decently enough. Let me just spread out my ships a bit more for that purpose. At least that way, I'm not leaving multiple ships that get hit. And I should be paying attention more to my ships once we get in Nova cannon range, honestly.
Engaging drive.
Although, I have an easy way to check when we're in range. So I don't need to worry yet. So is this 5 cruisers, like I'm thinking?
Hostile signature detected.
Okay. This tells me absolutely no frigates.
Receiving your order.
And they are just turtling up.
Reroute power to
In all honesty,
retropropulsion.
let him sit there. Okay, he's coming to me, never mind. I was going to say, if he was just going to turtle and wait for me to come to him, then I could just grab this points here
State
and
your order.
start gaining an advantage through the objective, ideally.
Machine spirit appeased.
And also, I probably want to just hide in the gas cloud for a bit.
Reroute
At
power
least
to
that way, he
retropropulsion.
won't have the best convenience on no... Oh, never mind, he's coming in hot.
State your order.
You have seized a strategic area.
Coming in hot, let's see if we can
Optimal course set.
get up some... I'm sorry, this can backfire though, because it does keep me moving, prevent me from moving for
The
10
spirits
seconds, so
obey.
I cannot get careless
We are
about
ready
this.
to serve. The spirits obey.
Actually, I could have just took that hit there and my shields would absorb that pretty
Thrust
well.
routines active.
Yeah, that was a mistake on my
Reroute
part.
power to retropropulsion.
I tunnel
The
vision
enemy
quite
has
heavily
seized
there.
a strategic area. You have seized
But-
a strategic area.
We can return the favor now.
Rouse the engines.
You just go protect yourself.
Rouse the engines to fury. Machine spirit appeased.
Now, they fired a beacon, so let's get out of here
Calculating vectors.
and just protect the ship.
To serve the Omnissiah.
Now let's not do that again. That's going to cost me a match if I let him get those Novacan hits in, when I could very easily just dodge them. And I don't... Let's see. Are they going to fly into the Stasis Bomb?
Engines to fury.
If you fly into Stasis Bomb, my job's
The
easy.
enemy has seized a strategic area.
Still took the Novacan hit there, so that's where we rotate and let the shields recharge a bit.
Power to retropropulsion. To serve the Omnissiah. Engage engine red lines.
So we're just going to dodge these Novacans, and that's all their shots.
Machine spirit appeased.
So damage is immense, to say the least. Aw, the bug kicked in where even though the shot fired, the light cruiser still took the hits. Which does me no good there, but that's one cruiser about gone. And just for the sake of keeping my shield health up, let's keep punishing them. Or keep dodging this.
Reroute power to retro propulsion. Engaging drive.
Alright, slow him down a bit. We got some really good critical hits on him. And we have a gas cloud. I'm fine with that for now because they're not firing their weaponry at me. I just can't burn all my combustion gauge, so it's the only catch. Because otherwise, we'll need to prepare for this. This is going to hurt one of my cruisers, if not a little bit of ramming damage. Oh, thankfully the shield took like all 4 of those hits incredibly well. So I'm happy for that exchange. I think we're good. Especially with one of them mutinying right now. And because they're Gothics, they have incredibly short range too, so that's another thing I didn't really consider. I have superior range advantage on them because of their choice of ships to get such a top-heavy type of fleet.
You have accumulated 25% of strategic points.
Nope. The shield can take that hit.
The enemy has seized a
2
strategic
Nova Can
area.
hits. It survived pretty well, but you still want to try and dodge that because it is doing morale damage to me. A very minor oversight that I haven't really put much thought in because it can be easily managed if done properly. Now, I can't hit with Stasis Bomb. They have the right idea with... Actually, let's see. Let's force you to keep boosting. Because if the instant that battleship gets caught, I don't need to tell you what's going to happen. There. Now, focus all fire on that flagship. Jeez, never mind that, it just nearly died immediately. We didn't need to focus fire. The Nova Cans did the job for us. So, that was the only one hit I was going to give you, the dang Nova Can. Thankfully, we did not tunnel vision too much after that, because they did a lot of damage to my cruiser really early. And again, with their shorter range, I wasn't really at any risk of taking damage with this circle, what is this, long-range spiral of death that was going on here. And the more he tries to boost towards me, the less reserves they have to kind of avoid the Eye of the Omnissiah. And they were a newer player, so I never feel good about that. But since it was a mirror match, maybe they can take a little bit of pointers there. Because they did try to brute force the Novacans and didn't really use the Eye of the Omnissiah all that much, to be fair. So I hope it helps them. Alright, another Mechanicus mirror match. I think I recognize this name, the Quantum guy. It's been a while, I think, but I'm certain I played against him before in some form. So this may not be just as simplistic as it was before, maybe, with my last Mechanicus fight. We'll see. We will see. Because if they are going 5 cruisers, I may not have the firepower to fight them in a prolonged battle. Kind of like I hinted at before with the Imperial Navy type of match. Whereas they should just have the superior firepower, straight up, but I am wondering if I want the extended sensors or not. Oh well, either way. Most of these skills work out pretty well. I am a little reluctant on whether Kulex's Assassin might be better. Yeah, extended sensors is nice, just for convenience, but we don't have much. I don't actually have a lot of gas clouds or cover to really take advantage of, if I'm honest. So maybe Kulex's Assassin if I can destroy some of their decks. We'll see. Let's get this going either way. And right now we're seeing 4 ships, so is this the double battleship kind of fleet? I think I'll try and prioritize the decks on the back and the engine on front to maybe enable for some early Nova cannons. I'm getting the feeling that's what this is. Double battleship and then 2 cruisers. So we'll see if that's true or not.
Receiving your order.
Although again, I don't have really good objective, or at least I don't really have good sources of cover to protect myself. I only have 1 gas cloud here, 1 in the middle, which they can really easily get to before me unless I'm boosting and revealing myself. So they kind of have the positional layout, I want to say. So I'm going to have to figure out how I can get the advantage here. I'm probably just going to take my time, take the wide way around, grab the 3rd point over there, and maybe, depending on how it plays out, I could just eventually just get this point if they chase after me. Alright, so they have a dictator, that's fine. Knowing where the frigate is going to be pretty important for damage. I just want to reveal the first cruiser. Can I get away with that? Well, I kind of knew it was a battleship, or suspected it was a battleship.
With matchless efficiency.
And I hope the fighters are going to get out. I would love to try and destroy or cripple these frigates. Again, that's going to give me good vision advantage for later on. Just keep hanging, I'll scan our pulse in a moment.
Hostile signature detected.
Probably a moment too soon, but that's fine.
To serve the Omnissiah. The spirits obey.
Just suicide frigates, I'm fine with that. Or are you trying to kill the fighters, which is not all that helpful either, I'm afraid to say.
Optimal course set.
Now, if I can kill this other frigate, that'd be great. Because they're kind of making that easy for me. When did the scanner pulse go off? So I have about another 15 seconds.
The spirits obey.
I just gotta be mindful of getting shot at.
Engage engine red lines.
Make this a priority and kill it, and get the frigates back to safety. Ideally. It's gonna survive, but we did kill one of the frigates, though.
Engaging drive.
Now I just gotta wait for when the scanner pulse falls off. No, I don't want to concede. Ideally. And sadly, that fire result kind of sucks, because that's kind of what I was hoping for against their frigate, damn it. And I did not get it in any sense. Alright.
Optimal course set.
So we gotta watch for more of these blasts. They only have 4 of them, so let's keep that in mind.
With matchless efficiency.
And hopefully I could get out in time.
Transition begun. State your order. Calculating vectors.
Now, one more shot, so
Engaging drive.
gotta be careful of that. And actually, let me just do a hard turn. This is a good opportunity for it.
Calculating vectors.
Okay, that works. The 4th shot did nothing there in that exchange. I just gotta watch for the one frigate that is crippled, though.
Rouse the engines to fury. State your order.
Alright, so now let's
Engaging drive.
prompt some denial here.
Energize vectored thrust. Rouse the
And see if we can do some damage here.
Receiving your order.
I kind of wish...
Thruster routines active.
Yeah, sadly I left you to die a horrible death, didn't I?
The spirits obey.
Okay.
Reroute power to retro propulsion. Receiving your order.
Just get out. They do have the shield disruption overcharge, don't they?
Machine spirit
Nope, that was... Oh, I have the Omnissiah, so that's good there, but...
The spirits obey.
Can you get out in time?
Machine spirit appeased. Thruster routines active.
Engines are gone there, so we're gonna need to protect you and maximize damage here.
Engage engine red lines. Receiving your order.
And sadly, the shields are gonna die here in a moment, so just because of the inconvenience of my battleship.
Omnissiah. Energize vectored thrust.
Now, what can I do in this exchange?
We are ready to serve.
Well, this is why I have my fleets kind of separated and segmented a tiny bit.
Thruster routines active.
So let's see if we can make that work.
Order. Engage engine red lines. Holy Omnissiah, heal thy wounded servant. Calculating vectors.
So just get on out. I did ram, unfortunately, myself a bit, but for it being only a light cruiser, that's not terrible.
You have accumulated 25% of strategic points.
Reroute power to retro propulsion. Optimal course set.
And you're only the light cruiser, I'm not too worried about you yet.
Spirit appeased. Engage chrysalis protocols.
You get the cover. I don't have rally.
With matchless efficiency. State your order.
Can we make this work? Because two of the cruisers about... God damn it. Why did it have to happen now? I almost worry that my opponent just rage quit on me. Because I think that's something I see sometimes. Alright, so we got Evil Sun Orkies to play with this time around. So, I'm going to assume this might be the straightforward type of strategy then. Just rush me down, which they kind of can do. This is why it is so damn important for me to spread out my fleet, since Stasis Bomb and Eye of the Omnissiah is going to be so damn important. And if I can successfully do that while crippling their ships, then I should be good for the rest of this battle. And there's an example of me with being too used to Iron Harvest. I just tried to do my base control groups with the Iron Harvest key set. And it didn't work here, is all I'll say. Either way, I do need to spread out. I'm not going to have any cover advantage because I'm going to be falling back a lot. So where's the best to go? Because if I go over on this left here, I don't want them to go through that gas cloud and be problematic. Even though I will have a frigate to kind of scanner pulse for that, so maybe that's not a problem? Maybe. Where do I put my second squad of cruisers, though? Because I want them to fire as much as they can, but they might be the unlucky victims when I want the battleship to kind of be the bait. And let's be honest, they might deploy somewhere in the middle over on the right, so I might need to reposition my ships a tiny bit regardless. Just in case, because that battleship was a little bit awkward trying to do evasive maneuvers with in the last match. I don't know if I'm going to put that Mechanicus match in because it ended preemptively, even though it was incredibly tense up until the close range engagement. Otherwise, Stasis Bomb's a must. Disruption Overcharge is good. Colexus Assassin is great for forcing mutinies when things start getting out of hand for him. So, do I want to change my positioning at all anymore? I don't think I do. And this opponent is normally a Tyranid player, so they're not gonna... They might have a little bit of a harder time here, I think, since the brute force strategies that kind of Orc needs to play as, especially against the Mechanicus once I reveal them. I would love to destroy some of their engines though, because then some of them are just limping out of the fight for a while. But I feel like this is 5 battleships. Nope, they have 3 rocks apparently, and those can be problematic, but we can deal with them with some really convenient Nova cannons. That's going to be the hard part though. So these have to be 5 regular cruisers then. So that's the trick. How do I deal with these rocks? That's what I'm really wondering. Because they're going to absorb so much damage. I'm not going to get the fire results I want. So, if possible, I just avoid them entirely. Is that so possible? Because if I go left, they're just going to pinch me in a corner and I'll be forced to fight them. And sadly, I don't have armor-piercing ammo to deal with them.
To serve the Omnissiah.
So I'm going to have to prioritize the cruisers on the left here.
Receiving your order.
And if possible, just delay the rocks, which they are just being slow right now. That's fine.
We are ready to serve.
As soon as I can reveal them, I can start doing damage. I just gotta pay close attention to when I'm in range. And also,
Interceptors engaging.
I'm not so worried about the torpedoes.
Thruster routines active.
I could boost out of the way. They do have saps. Actually, I'm just gonna avoid these torpedoes without really trying. And outside boring torpedoes, their dumbfire torpedoes should not be all that terrifying. If the bug is still in place where the armor piercing does not take effect. So just take my time. I have the range advantage here, and these rocks can be problematic, but only if I don't take them seriously. I was wondering maybe going on the left here, but that's just asking if these are the light cruisers on just pursuing me and just being incredibly dangerous. They'll be in my face and I won't have easy ways to deal with them, because they can dodge the Novacans incredibly well, if my opponent so wished. Alright, so this is the different type of torpedoes. So we gotta watch for that.
With matchless efficiency.
And we're just gonna slow these cruisers down, and
State your order.
I should have just tried to reveal them there, but I already have a light cruiser revealed, you figure. Okay, I have shields for this. This might hurt a bit, though. I just gotta be mindful of the morale.
Engaging drive.
And also gotta keep in mind, I am in a gas cloud, or an asteroid belt right now.
Engaging drive. Receiving your order. Optimal course set.
So just cripple the fleet, deal with these later.
Receiving your
Try to do
order.
enough damage that I'm not too worried about them.
Receiving your order.
And I'll be able to slow these guys down more in time. I just gotta be able to prioritize my damage.
Machine spirit appeased. Calculating vectors.
Okay. I'm hearing explosions,
We are ready to serve.
and that was probably the Novacans that just did that, I believe. Hard to really say, they feel so much more dramatic than necessary after all.
We are ready to serve. Receiving your order.
So cripple them,
Obey.
do your damage to them,
To serve the Omnissiah.
and that's the last Novacan shot.
Transition begun. State your order.
It should be the last Novacan shot.
We are ready to serve.
I just need an opportunity to fire more Novacans. I would like to, but this is still good damage for the time being.
Omnissiah.
And I do have Colexus Assassin, but you're just gonna burn to death.
Serve the Omnissiah. Engage Chrysalis protocols.
Set priority to you. You two boost on out. So that's a mutiny.
Spirit appeased.
I'm trying to figure out if they have the slow saps or not,
House the engines.
if I'm so honest, but...
Receiving your order.
Ah, dang it, I was hoping the battleship was able to get the Colexus Assassin off.
We are ready
You
to
have no
serve.
mega cannons or anything like that, so I'm fine with it.
Teleportarian vectors calculated. Machine spirit appeased.
Now just slow down the rocks even more. They are the one thing I'm afraid of. And I'm wondering my combustion gauge status.
With matchless efficiency.
So you have supercharged void shield, that's not going to do much here.
Machine spirit appeased. Calculating
Now I
vectors.
need to slow down the rocks a bit more, and this is a good opportunity for it.
The Omnissiah.
And maybe I can get a Novacan shot afterwards, because to take advantage of the dwindling morale.
Rouse the engines.
And engines are crippled here.
You have accumulated 25% of strategic points.
Sadly, it's a bad angle for me, though.
Your order. The spirits obey. Machine spirit appeased.
Alright, just survive.
With matchless
Because we got
efficiency.
mutinies going on. You have Kulex's assassin, the forces are one to break.
Does not compute. Legio cybernetica.
Everyone get on out. Their main cruisers are gone. We just now need to prioritize these rocks appropriately. Which I am going to have a stasis bomb in a moment.
Your order. Optimal course set.
And if I can slow them... Oh, they just conceded. Never mind. So that strategy paid out well. Ignore the rocks. Focus on the prey. The weak link. Because again, I cannot critically hit those rocks, and my boarding is terrible to try and force a mutiny out of them. Or not. I can't... Well, what I meant is I can't get critical hits through my boarding very well. Especially with the lightning strikes. I could have set myself up for a Kulex's assassins do something, but again, without being able to do good damage to him before... Well, I don't know what I'm trying to say anymore, but sure, I can do what, 750 morale damage to a rock with the Kulex's assassin, but then they can just do an encouraging speech to negate that. I need to have the morale already down, if not their troops crippled, for this to really take full effect by ideally permanently knocking out the ship, and when I can't critically hit the deck, even this is arguably not worth it against a rock in at least most situations. But apparently that strategy was working for them. They were legend ranking with the orcs, from if that was to be believed, so we dealt with that nicely regardless.